6:49, time for the morning rush. Las Cruces police are asking lawmakers to address the growing problem of juvenile crime during the next legislative session. The law enforcement agency says the competency is a big problem in the system, as many juveniles are deemed incompetent on the state level. Las Cruces PD is now also asking for more penalties for selling a gun without a background check and more investment in juvenile probation officers.
An Albuquerque teen will now spend the next 2 years on probation after pleading no contest in 3 cases involving guns, drugs, and running from police. In July of last year, Albuquerque police stopped the teen who was parked on a sidewalk, finding 6 guns, fentanyl, and more than $6,000 in cash in his car. In court yesterday, the 17-year-old was sentenced to 2 years of probation. Ryan.
And more chances of rainfall in the short term will be mostly in the mountains, but hotter and drier. For the most part, up until later tomorrow into the weekend to Labor Day, more thunderstorms, lower temperatures, stronger winds, and higher humidity.
The state's leading advocate for domestic violence victims is opening a new office to reach even more survivors. The New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence says more people are turning to shelters while funding shrinks. But a new expanded space will help all 32 state partners provide better care. Coalition workers say this is the first time they have been in an in-person office since the pandemic.
A facility designed to train the next generation of trade workers is now up and running at Central New Mexico Community College. Yesterday, CNM celebrated the school's 60th anniversary. That's when they opened their new Ted Chavez Trades and Technology Center. Classes will start on September the 22nd. Ryan.
And we are going to be seeing more rainfall ahead, but only 5 days this month of August that we had measurable rainfall at the Sunport. Our average month-to-date rainfall, 1.17 inches, only 0.24 inches. That's almost an inch below normal. But we do have more chances of rainfall ahead. Hotter and drier in the short term, stormier and cooler closer to Labor Day.
City officials are now taking some new steps to protect wildlife after ongoing issues at ponds along Albuquerque's Bosque. It's supposed to be a safe haven for local wildlife, but officials say that they've received reports of people fishing illegally in the protected ponds. If you have a fishing license, you are allowed to fish legally in the Rio Grande and Tingley Beach ponds. That new proposal will head to City Council next week.
A New Mexico high school recently completed a very unique upgrade to their football field. The new playing surface at Alamogordo High School is the state's first gray field. The school says it's inspired by fighter jet colors to symbolize the town's relationship with Holloman Air Force Base. The Tigers will play their first game on the turf tomorrow night versus Roswell. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic right now, it is mostly calm. No major accidents, no slowdowns, but there is a disabled vehicle on I-25 North near the Candelaria exit, so keep an eye out for that. And taking a look at the Big I this morning, we do notice an influx of cars on the roadway, so it is getting a little bit busier out there. So we'll have more traffic updates throughout the rest of the morning.
Back to school season is officially here, and as some college students begin to move in, they're bringing their furry friends with them. At the University of Northern Colorado, there are 3 residence halls designated for students who want to live with their pets.
And now it's time for the 5 facts.
At number 5, Hamlet, the world's largest flying pig and a Balloon Fiesta staple, is up for sale. After 35 years, a 75-year-old pilot, Doug Gant, is retiring, saying that the time has come to let go of the reins of piloting the prized pig. Well, Gant says that this year's Balloon Fiesta will be his last flight with Hamlet before passing on the prized balloon. He calls piloting a one-of-a-kind experience and plans to keep attending Fiesta.
And number 4, city officials are taking new steps to protect wildlife after ongoing issues at ponds along Albuquerque's Bosque. It's supposed to be a safe haven for local wildlife, but officials say they've received reports of people fishing illegally in protected ponds, despite signs that prohibit it. Now, if you have a fishing license, you are allowed to fish legally in the Rio Grande and Tingley Beach ponds. Open Space staff says they'll continue warning the public about fishing in the area, but under the new law, they would also be able to cite violators.
And at number 3, more chances of rain after today. Very spotty showers from Silver City all the way through Roswell, the East Mountains towards the Permian Basin, the Pecos River Valley. Even a couple of strong thunderstorms possible in Union County. Elsewhere, partly to mostly sunny, very warm, very dry, a little bit breezy today, but stormier and eventually cooler later tomorrow.
And number 2, the state's leading advocate for domestic violence victims is opening a new office to reach even more survivors. The New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence says more people are turning to shelters while funding shrinks, but a new expanded space will help all 32 state partners provide better care. They go on to say that they need to be able to meet the needs in the community, and this is another way to offer support. Coalition workers say this is also the first time they've had an in-person office since the pandemic.
And at number 1, Las Cruces police are asking lawmakers to address the growing problem of juvenile crime during the next legislative session. Yesterday, LCPD told lawmakers that just how bad the juvenile crime is getting in the city and the state. Police say the jail phone calls and texts show kids mocking the system. The law enforcement agency says competency is a big problem in the system, adding that many of the juveniles are deemed incompetent on the state level but get prosecuted and found competent on the federal level. Las Cruces PD is also asking for more penalties for selling a gun without a background check and more investment in juvenile probation officers.